this is the final part of Lecture 7, and we're now going to go on to the tone unit. So we've looked at tones on one-syllable words. Yes, no, well, that sort of thing. However, not all utterances are one-syllable words, so we need to consider a larger unit for describing intonation patterns in English. This unit is called the tone unit according to the textbook that we're using. It may consist of one syllable, it's quite possible, but usually it will consist of more than one. So, some notes. I'm going to be using normal spelling here, just focusing on the intonation patterns as marked. It's not necessary to add punctuation, and this includes things like capital letters, so I'm not going to be adding any capital letters. I'm going to underline the syllables that carry a tone, so like this, underline, underline. So if I say the word on its own, underline, then that's where the pitch movement is, and that's the syllable that I have underlined. The stressed syllable in multisyllabic words is considered to carry the tone, and it's called the tonic syllable. So if I have a word like photograph, the tonic syllable is going to be on pho. If I have something like photography, the tonic syllable will be on tog. And if I have something like photographic, the tonic syllable will be on graph. So we're looking at the stressed syllable in words, and that's considered to be the tonic syllable. So if we start with one syllable utterances, so if we begin with this utterance here, we've got you, this has a rising tone on it. Okay, now consider this one. Is it you? Is it you? Now there's only one main pitch movement on here, and it's still on this word. This is an utterance of 3 syllables, 1, 2, 3, and the third syllable, this one, is more prominent and carries a rising tone. Is it you? Is it you? So we can hear it stands out more than the other two. So the other two are less prominent in terms of length and loudness, as discussed when we were talking about stress. So the syllable which carries the tone, this one, is referred to as the tonic syllable, and that is in single syllable words or in words of more than one syllable. Prominence is a characteristic of stressed syllables. So we say that stressed syllables are prominent. A tonic syllable carries not only the tone, it also carries a kind of stress, tonic stress. Sometimes you see the tonic syllable or tonic stress referred to as the nucleus and nuclear stress. So you see that quite a lot in textbooks, just so that you're aware that this means the same thing. And if you do have a tonic syllable, it is the most stressed syllable in the tone unit. Now we can have more than one tonic syllable in an utterance, and that usually indicates there's more than one tone unit. So if we extend the example, here's our is it you? And now we've got this, which is a common calling tone. John, is it you? John, is it you? Then there may or may not be a pause between John and is it you. So I could say, John, is it you? With a pause, or I could say, John, is it you? With no pause. It doesn't matter whether there's a pause or not. There are 2 tone units because there are 2 tonic syllables. This is the simple analysis. It can get more complex than this, but we're going to try to stick with the simple analysis as much as possible. So, a tone unit has got to have a tonic syllable. It's a bit like saying a syllable has got to have a vowel, usually. It may also have 3 other components, and these are called the head, the prehead, and the tail, and we're going to examine those. So, the head, this is all syllables from the first stressed syllable up to, but not including, the tonic syllable. Tonic syllable is abbreviated to TS here. So, if we've got an utterance like this, John said yes. John said yes. This has got the pitch movement on it, so this syllable is tonic. John said yes. But this syllable is also stressed. So everything from here up to, but not including the tonic syllable, is the head. So let's mark that. Oops. Let's mark that using the pen option here. So this part here, this is the head. That's the head part. So that's what we would call the head in this particular group. If there's no stressed syllable before the tonic syllable, then there's no head. So in our previous example, where we had you, so if we just had that syllable on its own, that would be a tonic. That would be a tone unit without a head. Okay, so here's some longer examples. Mary and John said yes. Mary and John said yes. Try this with me. Mary and John said yes. So we've got some stressed syllables here, but the head is everything from this point up to this point, not including the tonic syllable. So Mary and John said is the head here, and yes is the tonic syllable. Here's another one. Bill called to give you these. Try that with me. Bill called to give you these. This is the pitch movement. It's a fall, and everything from the first stress up to this word here, up to you, this is all the head. That's the head pattern. This is the tonic syllable here. Okay. Now we can also have unstressed syllables before the first stress. And for example, is it you? That's what we had. Were unstressed syllables before the first stress. So we can have a pre-head before a head, but also, because we don't have to have a head, we can have a pre-head on its own. So if we have unstressed syllables before the first stress, whether the first stress is the tonic syllable or another stress, we've got a pre-head. So here, in an hour, say that with me, in an hour, in an hour. That's what we've got here, and we have our tonic syllable on hour, and these syllables are not stressed, so these are the pre-head. That's what we have going on there. But I might also have a head as well, so in this example, in a little less than an hour, in a little less than an hour. Hour is where the pitch movement is. That's a falling tone. My first stress is there, so this part of it is going to be the head. I'm trying to do this with the mouse, that's why it's coming out really strange. Whereas this part here, this is the pre-head here, so we've got the pre-head. So in this example we have a pre-head, a head, very messily, and a tonic syllable. So we've got all of the things that we have looked at there. I wonder if I can erase this. There's all sorts of fun things you can do with these pointers. Let's just get rid of that. That's good. And then go back to the pointer. Seriously, I'm having so much fun. It's great fun. Okay, here we go. Tonic syllable. So we have the pre-head, unstressed syllables. Then from the first stress here, this is not tonic, up to, but not including the tonic syllable, that's the head, and then the tonic syllable here has a falling tone on it, so we've got a pre-head, a head, and a tonic syllable in this group. Let's try it again. In a little less than an hour. In a little less than an hour. That's what it sounds like. Okay. A tail is everything after the tonic syllable and the end of the tone unit, so before the next tone unit starts. So we can have examples like this. So here we just have a tonic syllable, yes, with a falling tone on it. But now I have syllables which are after the tonic syllable. So this word has 1, 2, 3 syllables, and this is the tonic syllable, so these syllables are after the tonic syllable. So these syllables here, these are the tail, those are the tail syllables. Yes, yesterday, Let's try that. Yes, yesterday. Okay, and here all of these syllables are the tail. Yesterday's news. Let's try that. Yesterday's news. Okay. Now I can, if I want to, mark rhythm in the tail. So if I wanted to show that there was a rhythmic beat on news, in this textbook in Roach, he does this with a small raised dot. This isn't a particularly small raised dot on this PowerPoint, but that's how he does it. So yesterday's news, that shows that there is a rhythmic stress on news, but it is just rhythm. It's not doing anything communicatively. We've had the falling tone, that's the pitch movement. So yesterday's news, yesterday's news, yesterday's news. The main pitch movement is here, and this is the rest of the tone unit. Okay, if we go back to the RT pitch here, and we show how that works. Yesterday's news. I need to do this better. Yesterday's news. That's not very good at all, is it? Yesterday's news. That's terrible. Yesterday's news. Yesterday's news. Yesterday's news. Yesterday's news. Oh, I can't get this to work. Let's pause there. Okay. So, summary, the tone unit consists of several different things. It consists of an obligatory tonic syllable, but it can also have a prehead, a head and a tail, and these are all in brackets because they are optional. So we must have a tonic syllable. We can have any one of these additional things as well, or any combination of them. In longer stretches of speech, we also put in tone unit boundaries. A pause boundary is marked with a double vertical line like this, whereas a non-pause boundary is marked with a single vertical line like that. So here's an example from the textbook, and I've managed to give the right date. So what we've got here is a speaker talking about a description of a region, and we can see that we have these sections here divided off into the different parts of the tone unit. So we have the tonic syllable here on front, and it's a four eyes, front. Then we have the head, this is where the first stress starts, and then the prehead, unstressed syllables. In the next one, prehead, tonic syllable. Next one, no pause there. Then we have the prehead, the head, a tonic syllable and a tail, so all four elements. Then we have a head, so no prehead here, the tonic syllable and a tail. And then we have a prehead, a head and a tonic syllable. So this is marked with a dotted line in the textbook. I don't know if he's corrected this, but it should actually be a single line there. It's a non-pause boundary. So this is going to sound something like the following. And then nearer to the front, on the left, there's a bit of a forest coming down to the waterside, and then a bit of a bay, and you should be able to hear this recording on the CD for the textbook, or if you've got the ebook for the iPad, you'll be able to hear it on that. So in general, the pitch, let's start it again. So in general, the tone is carried by the tonic syllable. Intonation is carried by the tone unit. So if the tonic syllable is the final syllable, the tone is going to sound similar to that in a one-syllable utterance. But if there's a tail, syllables which follow the tonic syllable, the pitch movement is not completed on the tonic syllable. The tone follows the tail in different sorts of ways, and we're just going to look in this class at the fall and the rise, and next week we're going to look at complex tones. So we're going to start with a rising tone. So if I have my tonic syllable on this word and it's a rise, what? It's going to look a bit like that. Now I've got gaps in between the words here just so that you can see these are these match with the number of syllables we've got. So now we have our tonic syllable on what, and we have a tail, and what happens here is that the pitch movement begins on the tonic syllable. It begins low and it rises over the pattern of the tail. So this sounds as follows: What did you say? Can you hear my pitch going up there? What did you say? Let's see if I can get this to work using using the real-time pitch. What? 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 What did you say? Let's do that again. What? What? What did you say? Okay, can you see the pitch rising over the whole group here? And this is what? This is the bottom part. What did you say? And although we've actually got more movement here, linguistically, this is where the actual tonic syllable is, because I'm interested in what the person said. I'm just going to see if I can minimize you. Okay, so the pitch gets progressively higher over the tail syllables in a rise. So the tonic syllable is often the lowest point in the utterance, and we can see that very clearly here. This is the tonic syllable, and the other syllables have the rising of the pitch going on there. Now, clearly it's necessary to be near the bottom if I want my pitch to rise. So I have to start low and move upwards. And if I have a single syllable word, what, then I'm going to do that over the word. But if I have my tonic syllable at the start here of a tail pattern, what did you say? Then the pattern is going to look overall similar, so I'm moving upwards, but I move upwards over the syllables of the tail. So the pitch movement is completed over the tail of the tone unit. Now the pattern for a falling tone is not a mirror image of the rise. For a falling tone I have something slightly different. So here is my single syllable fall. Why? Why? Try that with me. Why? Why? Okay. Now if I have a tail following a falling tone, then my pitch falls on the tonic syllable linguistically, and then I have what's described as a low level tail. Why did you go? Why did you go? Why did you go? I hope you're saying that with me. Why did you go? Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work on the real-time pitch. Why? Why did you go? Why? Why did you go? I need to do this a bit louder to get it to work. Why? Why did you go? Why did you go? Well, you can get the idea. Let's try that once more. Why? Why did you go? Okay, I think that's probably the best. So, why? Why did you go? And then we've got this low, relatively level pitch movement here. So that's the main pitch movement, and then we have the low level tail, and that's how we describe it. We say that it's followed by a low level tail. So the pitch falls on the tonic syllable and then remains low and level over the tail, and that is the pattern. The tonic syllable may be the highest point in the utterance if it's a fall. Particularly if it's a high fall, it's necessary to be high in pitch to move downwards, so that's what we're going for. Some falling tones actually begin very low, however, so there might not be very much pitch movement at all, so you just have to decide what it's doing from a linguistic point of view. So if we look at this, this is a fall. Why? Why? There's a small amount of pitch movement up there, but this is the main movement that we can see there. Why did you go? So I need to start near the top in order to indicate this kind of movement with my pitch, to indicate that I'm doing a fall. So I'm going from about 250 Hertz down to about 140. Why? Why did you go? And I'm in the same sort of region by the time I get to the bottom of my pitch range. So the pitch movement again is completed over the tail of the tone unit, but in this case the pattern is falling pitch on the tonic syllable and a low level tail. It doesn't go down gradually, it doesn't do that like the like the rising tone does, move up gradually. They are not mirror image patterns, and you need to bear that in mind when you are trying to produce these tones. Okay, now just to bear in mind that bear in mind something else, that there are different analyses, and if you pick up different textbooks on intonation, they may have slightly different terminologies. Almost all British analyses use a similar system. The tone unit, however, may be called the tone group, the sense group, the intonation unit, the intonation group, the intonation phrase, the breath group, so you see lots of different terms for this. The other thing is that tone units tend to be linked with higher level grammatical units, so we tend to find that they match up with the word, the phrase, the sentence, the clause, that kind of thing. So they tend to go hand in hand with those things, assuming people are using it effectively, although in rapid speech, to be honest, anything can happen. We're not going to worry too much about this in this course for the time being. Okay, so finally, do the tasks on your handout. So there'll be, this is the third task basically. So there was the first one looking at yes and no with different pitch patterns. Then there was one immediately after the tones on single syllable words. And this is the final task, which is looking at larger units. Okay, thank you very much.